Villanova head coach Jay Wright and Villanova players Caleb Daniels, Brandon Slater, and Colin Gillespie. Coach, we'll ask you to open up with a couple thoughts. Then we'll take questions for the student athletes and for Coach.
We were on the other side of this, and it feels great, and it takes a lot of hard work to get to where Kansas is going to be Monday night. We want to make sure that we give them the credit they deserve. I know we got to talk about some of the things we didn't do well, but they played great, and they were well prepared, and they really executed, and whatever we have to talk about, what we didn't do well, which there were a number of things we want to make sure they get the credit they deserve. They played a great game tonight.
If you have a question for Coach Wright, Caleb, Brandon, or Colin, please raise your hand. Let's go down front to Hoops.
Jay, how are you?
Hoops is in the house. Get to say it one last
David
time.
McCormick tonight, just a little bit too much size and power for the kids.
He was outstanding, and it's not just him being outstanding. It's their execution and their schemes to get him the ball at the right spots. I know it looks like he's getting it. It looks like he's getting it with a guy behind him, but it's because they move the ball so well, and he seals really well. He was out, and sometimes we did a good job, and he hit some good shots. He was outstanding.
Third row toward the right side, please.
Colin, you had a pretty terrific career with Villanova. How do you want Villanova fans to remember you 5 to 10 years from now that it's over?
Just as a guy who was going to do anything to help his team, whether it was getting guys shots, rebounding, diving on the floor, taking a charge. I would have done whatever it took to win games and make sure that we were playing Villanova basketball.
Next question is going to come from the fourth row on the right side. Mike?
Jay, like you said, fully crediting Kansas, when you look at Ochai getting going early, what are you what's rolling through the computer right now and then in real time?
That was really a big key, and it was, that's why I want to make sure. I mean, it was our game plan not to let him get it going, and we made some mistakes, but just not being in contact with him, letting him catch and shoot. It was our game plan going in, but they moved the ball so well, and he moved so well. Without it, you got to give him a lot of credit. But that's one of the areas, right to start the game. If you go down 10-0 against a team that good, you're in trouble, and you got to try to fight back, and you got to believe you can, and we believed we could. But if you look back on it, going down 10-0 and letting him get it going at the start, arguably one of the best shooters in the country, that was not the way we planned it.
To the center of the room, Zach.
Zach Braziller, New York Post. Jay, it goes without saying you obviously missed Justin a lot. Where do you think you missed him the most?
Well, that's one of the things, Zach. I want to make sure, and I know it's true, but we were ready and we were good enough to win that game. They did a lot of things that made them win the game. And all right, so I know I have to address Justin not being here, but maybe the start of the game, just we're not. We know what we're doing when he's in there. We know our rotation. At the beginning of the game, when a team gets it going like that on the perimeter, we usually go smaller. We bring Caleb off the bench, so it's things like that. But you got to give them credit in recognizing that, and that we didn't have the ability to do that. Like, they didn't just start going inside every time. They went at us on the perimeter early. Then they went to McCormick, and you give them credit for that.
Center of the room, we're using the back left microphone. John Fanta.
John Fanta, Big East Digital. This question is for Jay, Brandon, and Caleb. You guys are sitting on the same dais with one of the great Villanova players of all time.
Agreed.
Can you reflect in this moment? I know that's difficult, but Can you guys reflect on what he has meant to this program?
Caleb,
We'll ask Coach to take that first, then Caleb, then Brandon.
I'd rather Caleb.
Okay, let's have Caleb take that first, then Brandon, then Coach.
I feel as if Colin is, like you just said, a legend, Villanova basketball. He's what Villanova basketball is. And even off the court, he's a near and dear brother to me, brother to Brandon, brother to all of us. And me coming here, he welcomed me with open arms as if I've known him my whole life. And just him extending his arms out and just always welcoming guys in is just something special about him. Knowing how to talk to each one of the guys and just his leadership is just valuable to us. And the things that he taught me while he was here is just something that I'll treasure forever.
Brandon.
Like you said, he's one of the greatest Villanova basketball players, but also one of the greatest Villanova people that I've ever met. And I'll go to war for Colin Gillespie any day. It's amazing to have somebody like him with you your whole career and to see what he's become and also to see how he's helped me personally and then the rest of our players who've come in and who's just tried to get better under the leadership of him. He showed us how to play Villanova basketball from day one, and he holds us to the same standard that he holds himself, and that's all you can ask for as somebody who embodies the true meaning of Villanova basketball.
Coach.
And those guys hit on all the aspects as a player and off the court. And the final piece I'd like to add is just, at Villanova, the mission of the university is about community and love and truth. And he's just at everything as a player they talked about. He's a Villanova man. He's a great Villanova man. And that's a big part of our program. It's not just being a basketball player, but being a Villanova man, and he's one of the best ever.
Front row on the left side.
Rod Walker with the Times-Picayune in New Orleans. Caleb, I know this didn't go the way you wanted, but just can you kind of sum up your time here in New Orleans this weekend and just sort of what it's meant to you? And also just how tough was it having some of those shots in the second half that just wouldn't quite go down? They were just kind of rammed out on you.
I feel like, nevertheless, it was an amazing time here with my brothers. The only thing that mattered to me was just playing hard and together for my brothers every moment that I had out there, and just the opportunities that we had to just be out there together and to just have the opportunity to just be the best Villanova basketball team that we can be. I think that was very valuable to me, and that's what honestly mattered the most to me.
On the left side, third row.
Colin Beasley with the Villanova. And Colin, in those final seconds when Jermaine had his arm around you and you watched the season end, what was going through your mind?
This was the last time I was going to put the jersey on, and the last time I was going to be able to go out there and play with these guys, my teammates, and they're the reason that I came back from my fifth year, from my teammates and coaches. Just wanted to be around those guys and have an opportunity to play in games like that and be able to play with those guys.
Right side to the left of the aisle.
Colin, Jay, I think yesterday was recounting when he reached out to you, I think on Monday, and said he was wondering if he should reach out to the team and talk about, reinstilling some faith that you guys could still win without Justin. And he said that you told him, don't bother, we got this or whatever. I just wonder at that time, what gave you that level of confidence that everyone was kind of still feeling like this was doable?
We had that belief in each other. Justin went down in the middle of the year with an ankle injury, and we played without him then. And Justin gave us these guys confidence, and they did it last year without me. So we were good enough to win this game, and we didn't do some things early on. They got some open looks, and they made their open looks, but we felt like we were good enough, and I have a lot of confidence in these guys, and I know our team has confidence in each other to go out there and get it done. And you can't replace Justin, but guys were going to step up, and we felt like they were capable, and we know that they're capable.
On the right side in the second row, Billy.
A couple of questions, one for Brandon, one for Colin. Brandon, I forgot exactly what the score is, but you had a pretty good look, or you had a three that rimmed out. And I guess, Can you just maybe describe how that felt coming out of your hands? And Colin, you guys have played and excelled so often in close games. I guess when Jermaine had the and one, and I think you got to within 6, you had a couple other chances. Did you feel like you were right there where you wanted to be after getting out of that hole?
Brandon first, then Colin, please.
I had a couple good looks that just didn't go in. Specifically, I think you're talking about second half. I shot a 3, top of the key, came in and out. You just work on these shots every single day, and you got to be confident. And that's what I was confident when I took the shot, and then when it didn't go in, I was still confident coming back to play defense on the next possession. So I can't really focus on a miss too much in the middle of a game because my teammates and my coaches, they need me for the next possession. And that's what we talk about attitude for, and that's what attitude really means.
Colin.
Yeah, we felt like we were right there. We were going to do whatever it took to battle back. We got down early, but it's a long game. It's a 40-minute game, and we pride ourselves on playing 40 minutes every night. And we were just talking about just dig and scrap, claw, and try to steal it in the end. And we got close, and they made some big plays. You got to give them credit. They made big shots down the stretch when we got close, and yeah.
Third row on the right side.
Mike Sealski from the Philadelphia Inquirer for Jay. What were the adjustments you tried to make to get Ochai off a spot? It looked like you put Colin on him for a little while at times. Once he gets off to that start and you see you're not quite sticking with him the way you want to, what did you try to do?
We try to do a couple different things with our schemes. One, a denial defense where we blitz him soft blitz him when he does get the ball. We tried another where we just don't help off him, and but they put us in some situations that forced us to help. And then once we did, they made the extra pass. I mean, they had 18 assists. You got to give them credit for that. So there was situations that they created that eliminated our adjustments. We went zone. Actually worked a couple times, but it was a little too late at that point.
Final question will go to Zoom. David Melandra Jr., Philly Sports Blitz.
360. Hey, Coach. 2 questions for you. One, early in the game, it seemed like the size of Kansas big men were taking full advantage of you guys. Was that going to be one of the issues going forward the rest of the game? And secondly, for Colin, what is one thing you will take away during your experience at Villanova?
Yeah, I'll just say, and the reason they were effective inside with their size is because they got us spread out early with Abaji hitting threes, and we weren't able to get off and help in the post because they attacked us early on the perimeter, and then that did become a problem for us.
Go ahead, Colin.
The relationships, my coaches, my teammates, all the guys that I've come across, and the community. It's really a family, and I loved every second of it. I've made I have brothers that'll last me a lifetime now, and I have coaches that I'll be friends with for life as well. And I'm just super grateful to have been a part of this. It's bigger than me, and it's just a really special place.
We want to thank Coach Wright and congratulate and thank Caleb, Brandon, and Colin on an outstanding season. Thank you for joining us here.
Thank you, guys.